Alright. And we're live. Alright. Yo guys, what's going on? It's Dom here. This is my first video on this channel. And man, am I excited. This is the first time I've made a video on something like this. But today's a very special day for anybody who knows this man right here. And is a fan of him like myself. I'm going to actually get us started here. We're going to be bumping some NoCap. We're going to be celebrating the fact that he's home. I mean, this is crazy, man. I don't think any of us expected when we woke up today that the BACKEND CHILD would be home. But here we are, and here he is, bro. I mean, when I saw the post on Instagram at about 12 Pacific time. It's like 4:25 around here now, but I saw it at about 12 or 1, and I was like, no. I gasped. I was listening to this song called, if you guys don't know this song is called Free the BACKEND CHILD by Uno the Activist and NoCap, and it was released on May 4th. It's a banger. Like an unlikely combo, but man, this is a banger. And I mean, holy crap. NoCap is my favorite rapper. I mean, Lil Baby and Kodak are my favorite rappers ever. NoCap has to be like right behind them. Easily, I think the hardest rapper in the game. My favorite right now. Like his album is the one I've been the most excited for forever because man, like he's so underrated. If you guys go look, there's nobody who's made a video about the fact that he's free on YouTube yet. As far as I can see, I'm the first one. And if that's true, then I'm extremely proud of that fact because this guy, I mean, as he says in his interviews, which I'm going to go through and talk about NoCap a little bit. We're basically, okay, first of all, I want to cover the fact that he's free and the fact that, I mean, there's not a ton of evidence that he's free out, but we know that he's free because, you know, he wouldn't be doing the stuff that he's doing if he's not free. And it's most likely that he got freed because of, like, the coronavirus, and they're just letting, like, prisons are getting overpopulated. You know, the virus is a bigger risk in prisons. They are sending people home. I don't know exactly what it was, or if he, his lawyer situation, it didn't seem like he was going to get out, though. Like, this is a huge surprise, you know? But, man, I'm elated. I'm extremely happy. I don't know if we're going to get a viewer. Hey, we got a viewer already. Shout out anybody that joins. And I know, first of all, disclaimer, I know I am a white, you know, suburban kid from Seattle. I'm a suburban dude, to quote Kodak, when he's being sarcastic. I'm actually a suburban kid from Seattle, and I'm talking about, you know, NoCap, who's one of the hardest rappers in the game, easily. I think the hardest from Alabama. Like, I know that it's not my place to talk about this, but nobody is. And somebody's got to bring this guy into the limelight. Somebody's got to get this guy the attention he deserves. And because I go look, if I search NoCap on YouTube right now, there are, you know, every time I search NoCap on YouTube, I find a new song that's unreleased or that I somehow haven't heard that I'm just like, this is like, it's my new favorite song. And I don't know if you know, let me know in the chat if you guys have had that same thing. Like, NoCap is a different breed, in my opinion. Like Rilo, I've always liked, you know, since I heard, you know, I was a huge Lil Baby fan as soon as I heard Baby, and I've been a Baby fan. Anyway, when he was putting Rilo on Too Hard, you remember Stick On Me and Eat or Starve? Those are the first Rilo songs I heard. And I liked Rilo, but then, and you know, he grew on me, especially when NoCap, you know, came out like really with Philadelphia with him, and like Baby started co-sign Cap, and that whole thing happened. But honestly, like, and when Baby did that interview and he said, you know, oh, I've got 2 new artists, you know, these are my 2 artists that I signed, I was so happy that I was so happy because I thought that would have been a perfect pairing. Obviously, things have gone a little bit of a different direction, and now Cap is signed is somewhat, like, he's somewhat under NBA. People say he's gonna sign to NBA YoungBoy, or they say he already is. I can't, and he's like, I think he's part of Atlantic Music Group or whatever, but I can't totally tell what's going on there. Either way, there's so many things, there's so many question marks around this guy. It's so interesting to me. Like, there's not a lot of info, but a guy like me from Seattle can search out NoCap and find more bangers on YouTube, in my opinion, than any other rapper. Like, the only other rappers who I think are, I mean, my top, like, couple that I've been listening to, obviously, like, my favorites, Lil Baby is always going to be up there, even though I know there's a little thing where he might be beefing with NoCap. And in that case, I mean, I love both of them. I couldn't pick a side. Kodak has been my favorite since junior year of high school, the first time I heard him. Chief Keef, 8th grade, and 50 Cent in elementary school. It's really like 50 Cent in elementary school for me. Then I moved on to Chief Keef, Kodak in high school, Lil Baby at the beginning of college, and NoCap, and Polo G now. Polo G, I've really loved. I mean, pretty early in, I really love Polo G's new album too. But yeah, today we're talking about NoCap. He's free. Yeah. Okay. I gotta fix the live stream. I'm losing all my patience. I'm gonna discuss why he got released from jail. Or discuss how he did and all the evidence that we know he did. 2, we're going to listen to NoCap the entire time. 3, after we discuss all the evidence of him getting released and how we know that he's released, we're going to speculate future and in hopes that things get better. And let's see, come on. Alright, we're finally back on the live stream. I had to disconnect, and if you guys will bear with me for a sec, I've got to connect my speakers as well. Alright. Anyway. Alright. We're back. I'm getting the cap on the speaker again because that's essential. Trying to get enough video. Let's get enough video to support smooth streaming. Alright. And okay, we're back. Alright. I'm gonna put on this song again. I meant to play this at the beginning of the video. And I did. Ah, that's so greasy. Alright, this is a banger though. Y'all know. Free to BACKEND CHILD. This got released 12 days ago. Anyway, I'm going to go over the few things that we know about that proved that he was released to us today. First of all, the way I was notified was the BACKEND CHILD at the BACKEND CHILD fan page on Instagram at the BACKEND CHILD FP. Posted the main bird is home. He posted that like 11 o'clock Pacific, which is yeah, and I saw it at about 1 o'clock, and obviously had a heart attack, as all of us fans of Cap did, because this guy's been in jail with so many question marks surrounding him. Anyway, the first thing, so we saw a couple pictures. I saw this picture of him flexing with like a bunch of money, but the pic that everybody was posting, like the news sites and stuff, it was the FaceTime, which I'm sure you guys saw on Instagram. And that's really the only thing that I saw out as of me starting this video. The only thing that I saw is that FaceTime picture and that FaceTime video that a couple people had, and that people were reposting, saying that it looks like NoCap is out of jail. They said NoCap is apparently out of jail. They weren't saying that he is, though. But then I look, of course, what I do is I go look up BACKEND Foreign, and then BACKEND Foreign says welcome home. You can, so it's real. It was giving me a heart attack, and then I'm like, okay, it's real. And anyway, so we know that it's true because of that FaceTime photo. Also, he posted something with BACKEND Louis' dog wearing his chain on his Instagram story, and that was kind of cute. And there's new music in all these clips, by the way. There's about 1,000 unreleased NoCap songs out there on the internet, and we can only hope that our favorite ones are going to be on Kobe Ain't Dead. But either way, the way I look at it is even if my favorite ones aren't on there, those ones I can still find, and then there'll be new ones. There's new ones that means that there's more that I haven't heard, basically. But either way, this man. Okay, I'm turning this up. Alright. That is more like it. That's more like it. Okay. So you guys can hear this shit. You know how good he is. We know that he's free. It's awesome. I was staying up till like 4 a.m. listening to this song over and over again last night because I just found it last night. This was my song of the night last night that I found. I always find a new song. What lies ahead? To say. Okay. And obviously, now what I want to get into, we know that he's free. There's a lot of speculation. We all are hoping that Kobe Ain't Dead bangs the way it should. We're hoping that he gets the numbers he should and the support. I mean, he's got 1.1 million followers on Instagram, and he hasn't been allowed to travel, as far as I can tell. He hasn't been allowed to travel out of Alabama, really, which is crazy, to get that much. And he's a really huge rapper for the amount of restrictions he's had legally. And Rilo has been pushed a little harder. He just got on that track that was released on Moneybags Deluxe with Lil Baby. That was out unreleased for a while, and then it was crazy to hear that it had Moneybag on it there. It was a good song, obviously, but Rilo has occasional ones like that. He doesn't bring the consistent, lyricism that Cap does. Cap brings it in, lyricism consistently. You hate yourself. And he has a couple lines that'll be like in this song, he says something about Emmett Till that one person made a comment about. Is like, man, that's so cringy. I feel like, which I honestly don't think he's ever disrespectful, though. I feel like he's always respectful, and if you can see his meaning behind it, then it's sick. When you do end up seeing his meaning behind the lyrics, whether it's I could never saw shit like I was on the side of grits. I could never saw sausage like I was on the side of grits or something like that. It's so weird, but I don't know. He said that was his favorite. When he was asked in the interview, he said yeah, this is my favorite line because it's, I don't know. And Cap is really unique like that. Yeah. Man, I'm glad I've got a video going on this channel. I'm talking about something like this. I know this isn't my place to speak, but until somebody's speaking about NoCap from Alabama and, getting him out there to the people, to make him a mainstream artist like he deserves to be, I'm going to keep pushing him. All I'm doing is supporting him. And I want to bring him to the people that don't know about him. I mean, because I don't know. So good. So Kobe Ain't Dead. We hope Kobe Ain't Dead's good. I bet you that Kobe Ain't Dead has a lot. I hope it has a lot of songs, first of all, because I know that the more songs, the better. and I also hope that there's a deluxe. However, we need one of these to be bigger than Ghetto Angels, don't we? We need one of these to be at least big enough to bring him into the limelight. Like, I don't know, I think, I've thought a lot of these songs could have. Philadelphia obviously has been taken off of all streaming platforms, but if Philadelphia was still out, I think it would definitely be, that could be the song that brings NoCap to the limelight. Like it did, in a way, but he needs to take that next step. The way Lil Baby took the steps in the South with My Dog, he got regional support. He had My Dog, he had, his next album, Too Hard, he had, the one with, like, he didn't really have any distinctive banger on Too Hard. Although that's probably my favorite Lil Baby album, yeah. Like, he didn't have a distinctive banger, but he had a bunch of ones that showed that he's, like, the guy. I feel like NoCap has had that last year with Hood Dictionary and BACKEND CHILD, and obviously all the unreleased and singles and miscellaneous and features. Let's play, this one. This is, I had to listen to this because I remember, this is the last day out. This is a totally different mood than right now. But it's the mood of, I'm going into jail. I don't know when I'm getting out. But I'm a real one. And that's all he ever says is, hey, I'm a real one at the end of the day. Appetite, and we gon' eat up homicides when it's crunch time. Blow, 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 I got my own. Oh man, most underrated rapper is the top comment on YouTube on Pack On Last Day Out, which has 2.8 million views 4 months ago. See, Cap has a lot of these songs, right? They get a lot of listens, or a lot of views, but they don't get like, he's not getting he's not getting national, let alone international support. Like, it has to do a little bit with his beefs, which are really stupid, which now I've got to talk about. I have to cover this at some point. I said there's question marks. The beefs, I think there's a lot of question marks. Lil Baby, we know that there's something there. Lil Baby, we know that there's something where NoCap and Baby are beefing, because first of all, they're not following each other on Insta anymore, obviously, and it was like weird, and we couldn't, and he wasn't like signed to Lil Baby, but then Lil Baby said he was, like, something that we don't know happened behind the scenes. And then recently, when he posted that, put it all on the line like Warren Sapp video on his Instagram, he says what is it? I try to fix shit with Lil Baby, but I told all my haters, like, give him smoke and he bring his lungs to me. He was like, if he wants smoke, bring his lungs to me. It was like saying Lil Baby could get smoke. And Lil Baby, was how I found NoCap. Lil Baby, I think Baby and Cap are, I wish that they were the power duo. Obviously, that's not how it's gonna be. For some reason, NoCap is not rapping with Rilo and Baby like he should be. He should be, honestly. What I thought was gonna happen was Baby was gonna have NoCap be, like, they were gonna elevate it to a new level, and Rilo would have stuck around with, like, Marlo as guys that were, around the crew. And Rilo still only has 480 something Instagram followers. 480,000. Like, he's still not half as big as NoCap. And he's been pushed by Baby way more. He's been able to travel. He's had all this stuff. He's been on Baby's album since Too Hard. I mean, NoCap really has just done features with a couple guys, and then a lot of his songs that he has with other guys aren't even out because he's beefing with them, like, namely Kodak, who's one of my other favorite rappers. That song's taken down for whatever reason. I actually want to play that. This song is real good too, man. And I'll listen to any NoCap song despite the beats. It doesn't mean we have to hate some of the best ones. I mean, Kodak's been my favorite rapper. If I was pressed to name one rapper who would be my favorite, it would be Kodak, and then it would be Lil Baby, and it would probably then be NoCap, if I'm being honest. Because But anyway, so Cap has these beefs. So with Baby, we don't know. He said that shit about, bring his lungs to me and I'll give him smoke. However, obviously there's something that drove it sour. Rilo doesn't follow him on Instagram, I don't think, anymore. Although he posts free NoCap still. And posts. It's really weird. Like, I can't tell what's going on with NoCap and Rilo either. NoCap and Rilo is the one that's even weirder because, like, one of my friends actually told me that he thought Rilo had maybe snitched on Cap and that was why it was going on so sour, because it wouldn't make sense that, like, the only other explanation is that Rilo just got upset that Cap was way bigger than him, like, and just blew up a little bit where Rilo kind of got left behind. Like, just a tiny, tiny bit, but not even. And Cap ain't like that. Like, Cap, if you see, Cap is pushing young OG, back-end foreign and back-end Taliban all the time that he was in jail. Like, he was letting, Cap is so real. I have a hard time believing that Cap will switch up on anything that he stands for, anything he believes in. Look at his interviews where he says, I don't have an influence on life. He's just saying, he's just doing him. Okay, we're going to play another banger. This one's unreleased. I was listening to these this morning, and I was like, honestly, if this is what Kobe Ain't Dead ended up being, these unreleased songs that YouTube was just playing me on autoplay, it was like this one, the last one, the Back-End Child with Uno the Activist, Free the Back-End Child with Uno the Activist. Those three in a row, and I was like, this could be the album. Mama's crying. All I hear is rainbow. Okay. Well, he might be beefing with Rilo. He might be beefing with Baby. Obviously, Baby and Rilo are doing their own thing. I have some little part of me thinks that they could still fix it. Like, I'm not totally sure how that would all work. But, also, I'm not sure. I think, people and blogs, entertainment, maybe even music. It's gotta go in music. Yeah, we should switch this to the music category. I could have done it entertainment, but anyway. And there ain't no safety in my hood, so we about quit your dicks. They lied to me like carrier ticks. Honestly though, I really want him to release some of these unreleased songs, because, well, I just think it's highway robbery that there's, 758,000 plays on a song, and then 100,000 plays on the next one, and it's the same song reposted 20 times on SoundCloud. He could be getting all these millions of plays. He'd be getting cash to 1,600 block, but for him and all his boys, but instead it's just, going to some random person on SoundCloud or to SoundCloud headquarters. Those dollars are going somewhere, and they're not to him. He definitely doesn't have, but that's part of what makes him so interesting, I feel like. And I'm struggling to articulate this because it's such a strange topic for, as I said, a suburban dude like me to talk about. Stop it. And I'm definitely not the intended audience for NoCap. In some respects, like he would, this is for, he makes hood music, as he says, but he doesn't say that, he doesn't say that a suburban dude like me shouldn't listen to it. All he's, if I can find, that same level of enjoyment in it that he was intending, then I think that speaks volumes about who he is. And that's honestly what would make him on the, would push him to the level of what Lil Baby is now. Which I remember, Lil Baby was like this 2 or 3 years ago before the Yes Indeed. I remember, like, Lil Baby was my favorite rapper. and I was telling all my friends, Jake particularly, who I started this channel with, who we're going to do our first podcast here in the next week, and we're going to discuss this rap stuff. He doesn't like the NoCap type of rap as much as I do. He likes, he likes Travis. He liked Quando's album. I don't know. He just somehow ends up liking different songs. Not always different songs, but different artists. He has a different taste than I do. And that's the part of the main reason we decided to start this podcast. This is one that I just heard for the first time today. Yeah, this is my new song today. One of them. I've actually, yeah. This young OG in the beginning. Anyway, man. So what we've covered so far, for our new viewers just checking in, we've covered he's free, as we know because of a couple Instagram posts, the FaceTime, and a couple story posts. What else we know? Kobe Ain't Dead is coming soon. Everybody on 1600 has been advertising it and hyping it up for a couple months here, a couple weeks now, maybe a month, and they're saying it's coming very soon. With Cap getting released, I can only imagine how soon. I think it won't be with Wanna. I don't think this next week. But I think it could be, and that would be 522. But I think it could go against, Tusi. If you guys know Tusi, I really liked Platinum Heart, and he's releasing Platinum Heart Deluxe on May 29th. That's a prime time for Cap to do Kobe Ain't Dead. I think that's a likely spot. And those would be two real big releases. I mean, the way it looks for May, and really for most of quarantine, we're having two big releases go against each other on the rap front. And on the rap, this genre, this trap, drill, southern, midwestern kind of, I don't know what to call it, really, from Chicago, the Rust Belt, down to the South, including Florida and, Atlanta, Louisiana, Alabama. Trap and drill, really, is what I would call it. And New York and stuff has their own, and it's slightly part of it, slightly not. Either way, man, in my opinion, I'm just trying to figure this stuff out. Okay. And I'm just vibing to this cat, bro. So we've covered the fact that, sorry, I'm losing my train of thought. It was crazy that when I heard this news. But basically, we've covered the fact that he's out. We've covered the fact that we've covered the fact that Kobe Ain't Dead is coming probably by the end of May. If not, it's coming early June. And now we're going to cover going forward with Cap. We didn't expect him to get released. Anyway, there's no... So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys this article, first of all. We've got this article I'm going to pull up on the stream. Bear with me. Alright, bear with me for a sec. I'm going to resize this, but I'm going to show you guys this article. Basically, he turned himself in December, right? And then after this, I'm going to move to YouTube and show you guys the lack of coverage of this guy on YouTube, because it's absolutely disgusting. All right. Actually, so Alabama rapper NoCap turns himself into police custody following alleged shooting. NoCap is in custody following his alleged shooting incident a few weeks back. Kobe Crawford, better known as Alabama rapper NoCap, has turned himself into authorities on charges stemming from alleged shooting. So, yeah, he turned himself in. Basically, he drove by and like shot up a house. And there was actually one video from an Alabama YouTuber. If I can find that, I'll link that in the description, and I'll actually go back and find that in a minute once I cover what I'm going to cover here. But he basically said it wouldn't make sense for NoCap to go shoot up a house himself because he has a million guys that could do that for him, as he says in his music and his lot. You know, we all know that. Like, there's no point for a guy that is really, you know, taking off in his rap career to be the one that goes and shoots up the house. And I think he might have, he fled with his sister. So, yeah, he arrived on scene, fired shots in the house, and fled with his sister. Honestly, that just sounds like a whole lot of bullshit to me. I think he's getting framed for some shit. Or I think he did it, either that, or, and this is the more likely, I think he wanted them to know that he was the one that was going to go shoot it up. Like, he couldn't have anybody do it because that's not who he is, you know? And he just went and turned himself in for it too, which, you know, like, yeah. And look at that. NoCap, look at this. LBS Kevin dropped a single with NoCap on it. There's a pretty funny music video. I'll actually play that. But Slums Mix. If you guys know that, I've heard this a couple times on SoundCloud, and it was called Scars. But there's a beat switch, and this is now like an interlude. It's crazy. Yeah, but this song's Fuego. Anyway, so obviously pretty hard from turn himself. He ain't hiding from shit. Realest one in the game. Now I want to go look at, if I go look at last hour, NoCap free. This guy just got freed, remember. The reason this is important is because this guy just got freed from jail. You know, this is a holiday for fans of him. And nobody's making videos about it. There's a ton of beats in the last hour. Let's see today. Let's see if upload date. Tell me, yeah, see, there's nobody making a video on this topic. So, although this is my first time making a video on something like this, nobody else wanted to, and it needs to be covered. And basically, if you guys have any questions, leave them in the comments or the chat, and if I can answer them with all the, you know, live, you know, I watched some of these guys, the 1600 guys, I watch their lives, and I, you know, look at their Instagrams. I know a couple things from like listening to them and looking at the comments and seeing people explain it and stuff. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to throw it in there. I'd be happy to answer. Obviously, I don't know anything firsthand. I've never been to Alabama. But Cap and Riot, like, for the sake of the music, you know, we all want them to just make up and, you know, make music together and stack. But who knows what Rilo or Baby did that made Cap like that, or why they switched up on him, or why maybe Caps. I don't think Cap switched up on them because it just doesn't seem like it. But I don't know. I would love to see somebody who knows more than me cover this. However, man, somebody's got to cover it, and someday maybe I'll reach out to everybody on 1600 and see if I can, you know, have them on, explain shit, really just have, you know, an outlet for them. Yeah, so if somebody else was making if there's a lot of people making videos about this, to be honest, I wouldn't feel as motivated to, but I hope that if you guys had question marks that I answered some of them. And this is the beat switch up I was talking about. I take all these drugs before I take your word. I really hope this is on that album. Although, considering it's with Rilo, there's less of a chance. Alright. With that being said, shout out to the 8 people that tuned in. The 1 person who's stuck with it all the way through. You're a true G. Anyway, this has been Dom from Dom&JakeTalks. We're going to come at you with a full podcast later this week. And we're going to discuss really me and Jake's background for wanting to do this channel and podcast sort of thing. And we're going to kick it off. But for today, go listen to some NoCap. Celebrate the fact that my hottest rapper in the game is out of jail. And yeah, that being said, it's Dom. I'll see you guys next time. Oh, also, one thing I forgot that I was going to show you guys. NoCap. Shut up. I'm going to show that I mentioned earlier. Brim D is who I was talking about. Shout out to Brim D. And this is the video I was talking about as well. It was, oh, yeah. Anyway, I'm going to link this video. I'll throw this in the chat right now. I'll throw it in the description. So you guys can see what happened earlier and how this all kind of started. It's crazy. Yeah, but shout out to Brim D. He covered this shit. He covered NoCap getting locked. Hope he makes a video on this. And if he does, I'll be there. And he'll provide obviously better covers than I will for a lot of reasons, but I've been happy to provide you guys the necessary coverage today. Okay. And I'm going to go ahead. Right about here.